You can't see what I see, cause I'm me, you can't see.
Ooh, what's going on, people? This your boy Levi. I'm back in the building, man. Yes, y'all see what time it is, man. Got another reaction for y'all today, man. This right here is called Savages from the 6 YG. Now, I've been wanting to get on this guy right here. I know there's another guy called YS, but I'm not for sure if one of them passed or not, but I'm gonna show. I think it was one of them, but like y'all mostly be telling me, man, it's like there's so many people that end up passing, and like it just be so many where I be like, man, it's just too many, bro. It's too many. But we're gonna definitely get into this right here. Shout out to that boy, Mind Soul 6, boy. You got it popping over here. I'm loving these vids, bro. You sound depressed, my dude. Damn, nigga, why you saying all that for? They tried to frame me. It was a scandal. I remember seeing his mugshot on CP24 in 2016. Loud how he's a Rexdale reject and Weasel. He got ran off his own block because he ain't solid enough. Damn! Let's get into this bitch. Let's get into this.
I'm not romantic. Night fashion, up like it's magic. Big gun, bigger than dinosaurs. That's in Jurassic. I jump up like it's Titanic. Since I was young, I was been a savage. Big gun and do lots of.
This is 25-year-old Shamori White, better known as YG. He's a popular Toronto rapper and a member of Driftwood's Wasp Gang.
Okay.
Under Blue Feather Records, he has songs alongside fellow artist Pressa, like Gamble and Meat Machine, and also a bunch of his own songs that have done numbers, such as Wasp, Backyardigans, Kool-Aid,
He got a song called Backyardigans. Hey, you know the fucking cartoon Backyardigans? I ain't never watched that shit when I was little. I think that shit was like way... That shit was like from my little nephew or some shit maybe, bro.
Jason Bourne, and just recently dropped a project named Coronavirus.
Okay. So he out.
YG is a talented artist,
moving, okay,
but is also known in the streets, as well as to police, with an interesting backstory. So today, on Savages from the 6, we'll be taking a look at YG. So YG was originally from Jamestown, an area in Rexdale that's no stranger to crime. He lived with his mom, who was usually busy from work and wasn't home, so he'd often spend his time at his grandma's, who lived in Maze by Jane and Shepherd. Eventually, he would move in with his aunt in Shoreham Court, Driftwood, and stay there for good. He says he bounced around a lot from locations in the West End while he was growing up. YG's parents were longtime friends with the parents of Pressa, so naturally, they became friends when YG would be around Driftwood. The two had a good friendship, and soon enough, YG was part of Pressa's group, which at the time, the Young Buck Killers. But YG wasn't just productive in doing music, but also in the streets. So now, let's take a look back at his history.
Okay.
In 2011, the police launched Project Marvel, investigating the Young Buck Killers, with a focus on Pressa's older brother, Mark Gardner.
So before it was Wasi, was Young Buck Killers. That's what they started off as. Young Buck Killers.
Alleged leader of the gang. There's a public document following Pressa's investigation, and YG's name, Shamori White, comes up a bunch of times. It follows YBK and their alleged involvement in firearm and cocaine trafficking throughout the country. In October of 2011, police say YG robbed a man who went by Brains of a gold chain, among other things. A day later, police were called to 390 Driftwood Avenue after reported domestic abuse. YG was arrested, wearing the same gold chain he had just robbed.
Come on, bro. Why you just go buy you a chain, nigga? Shit. And it's fucked up when the police catch you, then you got the same jewelry on, and they like, well, you took it. Oh, I ain't got no jewelry, bro. I ain't steal nothing from nobody.
He ended up tricking the police by giving them a false name, Shane Campbell, who was someone he knew. He was released. And at
the guy must have couldn't describe his jewelry. He must don't know what kind of jewelry he fucking wearing. If he couldn't tell the police, hey nigga, they Cuban links, such and such, they gold. I had 2 on.
December 2011. YG was at a house on Brady Crescent when police stormed in with a search warrant. In the house, police found a fully loaded Taurus handgun in a flower pot that had the serial number scratched off. Now I can't find any information if he was charged with the weapon or not, but he ended up going to jail on charges that were related to Project Marvel with 60 others. Since YG was a youth offender at the time, the court system was lenient on the charges, and he ended up being released. Now free, YG would continue making music and keeping his head down. But after a few years went by, he soon found he was caught in a serious case himself. Now there's a decade-long feud that's been going around between 2 areas in Toronto, Rexdale and Driftwood. There's been multiple homicides and shootings related to this feud. Ironically, these are the 2 neighborhoods where YG once lived, but his alliance to Driftwood was clear. This brings us to the next event in the timeline.
Damn, that nigga hopped out the car, went up to the stairs, started shooting more. Like, they must have had no gun.
This incident takes place in the morning hours of June 1st, 2016, in the parking lot of 15 Pittsboro Drive, the same housing complex in Rexdale that YG once lived. Surveillance video shows 2 men, both armed, walk through the parking lot.
That look like YG right here, by his hair. But I think I seen this shit on the CCTV though.
Approach a man on his bicycle. One of the men then takes a gun from his handbag and fires at point blank range. The man is hit multiple times, and the suspects quickly flee the scene. The victim was identified as 20-year-old Nathan Lay. He was quickly rushed to the hospital, and despite several bullets piercing his lungs, he survived the incident, although he was tragically left paralyzed and in a wheelchair. The police believe it was a targeted shooting, and they began their investigation. At the time, they had no leads, but things changed 1 year later. It's not clear how, but eventually, the police were able to come up with 2 suspects. Then 21-year-old Shamari White, YG, and the other man seen in the video. Then 23-year-old Ibrahim Abdi Karim. A few short weeks after the picture went on the news, Ibrahim was caught by police in church.
Shit, yeah, I was about to, never mind. I was saying YG more look like him because he got the long hair and shit.
YG was wanted on a slew of charges, with the heftiest being an attempted murder, but he was nowhere to be found. He was now considered to be on the run.
That nigga
His man was
gone.
armed and dangerous.
So what, was he with him or not?
With 1 suspect in custody,
I guess he
the
just
police
fucking
now
said,
shifted
"I'm
their
running, fuck."
focus and began to crack down on getting
I already know they
YG.
about to bother me.
While they searched Toronto and all of Canada, YG made his way across the border and into the United States.
Nigga, what you coming over here for?
During an interview with We Love Hip Hop, YG talks about how when he was on the run, he traveled all over the states, as far as Los Angeles. He was going.
That's crazy. Nigga know the police looks like shit. I'm just thinking that I could be totally fucking wrong. Like, nigga probably thinking like, man, I'm gonna get locked up soon, bro. I know it. They looking for me. I got some money on me. I'm about to just travel, bro. Cause I know these niggas gonna come at. I can say when I go to jail, nigga, I done been in the U.S. I done been I been in jail.
On music shows and house parties, and talks about meeting up with other Toronto artists like Killy, Wonder Girl, and 88 Glam while he was in the city.
Okay.
Oh well.
So these guys are over here in the U.S. Gotcha.
YG wasn't just partying. He also proved to be productive music-wise while over the border, linking up with Jay Critch and making a track together called Lord. YG was living like he wasn't a wanted man in Canada. He would then go on to spend.
That nigga, yeah, he had that money on him, bro. He flying the U.S. Nigga flying the U.S., flying all over the place. Got a song with Jay Critch. You know that's a feature, so Jay Critch don't probably, I'm guessing right at the top, he don't know him, so I'm like, you know he gonna charge. So you know he charged a little good bit. Shout out to Rich Forever, Rich the Kid, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know he charged the bag, bro. So this nigga YG, he got that bread, bro.
Almost 2 years on the run, but the police would soon catch up to him. On April 26th of 2018,
that nigga still here.
YG was arrested in Columbus, Ohio.
Damn.
The local police were apparently investigating a firearm when they picked him up. Once they realized he had a warrant in Canada, he was extradited back to Toronto.
Oh, that's that scene where, okay.
Now that the police finally had YG, he was facing some heavy charges. Pressa stepped in and paid $50,000 to a lawyer,
Woo!
Anthony Robbins, the same lawyer that helped clear him of his charges.
Pressa! Hey, Pressa came through with the fucking G, like, I got 50 bands for my boy. We gotta get him a good lawyer. Shout out to Pressa, bro. That was some real shit right there. That's some shit that I would do, though, on no cap, bro. My dog in some situation like that, even though I ain't got nothing to do with it, I could at least get the nigga a lawyer because I'm out here booming. You feel me?
Publicized kidnapping case. Now this lawyer is basically the Better Call Saul of Toronto, because even though YG was allegedly caught on tape, plus went on the run for almost 2 years, he still managed to have his charges dropped in relation to the shooting. It took people by surprise, because YG wasn't expected to beat the case. And his accomplice in the crime, Ibrahim, well, I couldn't find any information about his charges and if they were dropped or not. But he was out of jail around the time of July 18, 2018, because he was arrested in downtown Toronto at Front and Spadina, along with 5 other people when police executed a search warrant. 2 guns were seized, so I'm assuming he's in jail at this point. As far as YG, he was released and once again in the free world.
I did do them. I did do the nigga, bro. That shit right there, that video right there, I did do that. That shit was smooth. Now I remember, bro. Definitely.
He was cleared in the case, but there's still questions as to whether or not he was responsible for the shooting. Now it's obvious that YG denies any involvement, hinting at his case in the track Gamble, saying, but for now, we can just hope that he continues to focus on music and tries to stay out of trouble in the streets.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Savages from the 6 YG, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this video, man. Big shout out to Pressa for that 50,000, bro. Came through with the lawyer. If he ain't had that lawyer, bro, that nigga would. But like, he probably, if he had the, well, he probably didn't have that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? To do that shit. But Pressa came through on some real shit, bro. But anyway, man, y'all know what time it is. Shout out to Monso 6, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace.
You can't see what I see, cause I'm me, you can't see.